Okay, we finally got the price action that was needed on US dollar yen, which has resolved itself today and I feel is put in the top. So I will go over that as well as euro dollar, Aussie dollar, the DX, and I'll see in a moment. So I was waiting for this to resolve on US dollar yen. I've been covering it on Twitter. I was covering 3 different scenarios on this. I don't want to go into them. You can see them, I think, on yesterday's update. But we have a resolution now. The preferred view of the 3 happened, and that a new high broke out above. Now, I'm viewing this. I'll go over this step by step as I find this the most interesting pair here. And as usual with Elliott Wave, it has 2 distinctive readings. I prefer the bullish one from here in a larger sense, not to go up from current price, but I'll go over that, rather than the bearish one. However, either one's possible, so it's a term of adjusting on a local lower time frame. So we had 5 waves into here, 3-wave correction, and then the thrust up of another 5 waves. And we've had all week this sideways motion, which started to resolve last night or yesterday. And I think it looks best as a triangle. Now, it does open a number of interpretations, but I'll go over the one I'm preferring first. And that is that we have 5 waves into here, 21 September, 3-wave correction, and I'm viewing this upward swing as a 3-wave move overall. So it could be interpreted as the B wave of a flat. And that would, so a second wave overall would look something like this. 3 waves down for A, 3 waves up for B, and a 5-wave impulse down for C to complete a wave 2 expanded flat, which would bring wave 2 over here. That is my preferred view. So next week I will be looking for a move back to 111.50 or 111 or so, and to see if we can find a low in that region for the move, for the bullish move higher. Now, to go over what happened this week, it started to become clear, given the sideways motion, that it was turning into a triangle, and the thrust up today was in 5 waves. You can count it on the 15-minute chart, and it resolved very strongly to the downside with a little 15-minute shooting star at the peak of the 5-wave thrust out of the triangle. So any correction on Monday and Tuesday will be a sell opportunity, and that is now set up for a bearish move into next week. Now, there are probably a few ways to count it bearishly here, but one way to do it would simply be 5 waves up here for A, a 3-wave correction, and then another 3-wave move just to make an overall bigger 3-wave idea, corrective idea, and now a down move. So whether you're bearish here or bullish overall as I am, we're both looking at the same thing to the downside here. So either way, bears and bulls want to see a 5-wave decline next week here. And if we get that 5-wave decline, we would then be looking at a possible reversal for the wave 2 idea. Now, to zoom out on the daily, you can see it's an ugly close. It has not violated any key levels as such. The trend line is not important. So I'm looking for a move back to about 111.50 as a minimum in 5 waves. And you can see there's quite a bearish close. The 8 EMA next week will come in about 111.50, and that should prove supportive. Though there is not much yen news until the end of the month when the BOJ deals with interest rates again, and that will probably spur some movement. So I don't know what type of catalyst there will be for an aggressive 3rd wave now, but we do have the price movement to set that up. So it's one possibility. But the thing is, if you can get a bearish trade here, if there's a small correction on Monday or Tuesday, and then a bearish setup for another move down, whether you have a bullish view or a bearish view, you will win on this trade, as you'll be looking down as the price is suggesting that the move overall from 8 September has terminated. So this is still my favorite pair to deal with now. Now, obviously, gold with a negative correlation should move up next week. Now, I know one very good trader, new from Wave Pattern Traders, is bullish on gold, and he's bearish on US dollar yen, consequently. And it does have that setup here. There's a lot of divergence here. So if the low's in gold, we should see it rally next week. So if that's, I'm not looking at that. My interest is in US dollar yen, but the setup is there to the downside in US dollar yen. And I'm going to look for this to work out over the coming days. Now, keep in mind that on a monthly chart, I am bullish on this. I'm not going to go over it. It's in the last videos, but principally, the stochastics are moving sideways on a monthly chart, and I do expect them to resolve to the upside. So whatever type of price movement occurs, whether it's the flat or we actually see it move sub 107.50, I'm expecting this ultimately on a monthly scale to resolve to the upside towards 120 or so. So I'm staying bullish on this. But I'm going to take the down move on Monday or Tuesday and look for that to sell off to about 111.50 at first and judge it from there. Okay, the pair I showed a couple days ago did see the kind of the upward move to kind of taper off, and there was a setup in here. This is proving a little more complicated now. I'm not quite sure how to label it, frankly. I don't really know how to label it. This low did not break the low that I have marked as 1 or A. So I am expecting it to fall further. However, we do have a supportive trend line leading up through the price movement. But ultimately, I am looking at this section as probably done. You can make a case here that we've had 5 waves here. I can view this a number of ways, but one way is a possible triangle for wave 4 in here. So you have essentially, I have not labeled this obviously, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5-wave thrust overall. I think you can fit a triangle in here for A, B, C, D, and E, and then a 5-wave thrust to complete 5 waves from 14 April. But in any case, I favor a down move in this pair as well, mainly because we have a 5-wave impulsive decline here. So I'm going to be looking for downside trades in Euro Yen on Monday and next week as well. And overall, I still want to stay bullish on this in a bigger sense. Partly because if you look at the stochastics, they are firmly holding up here for now. And this is quite a bullish scenario. Nothing has really changed on the monthly overall. It has some room to the downside to move, clearly. It usually, as you can see, doesn't stay far away from the 80 MA for too long. So a bit of a corrective move to the downside. I will be looking for that along with US dollar yen, but I feel that this pair also has the chance to move higher still over the coming months. But for now, locally, in a local sense, I'll be looking for a down move into next week still. Okay, I managed to tie in the US dollar with Euro dollar and Aussie dollar. The move up, it's a very bearish close on the DX today. Now, on the 4-hour chart, I can count this as 5 waves up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5. You can probably alter that count in some other way, but that's the clearest, most literal count. Now, that suggests the 5 waves are done here, and we're going to see a 3-wave correction and probably another move up afterwards of some kind. And if that turns into a three-wave move, great, because there is the most common interpretation I've seen of the move down here in the DX is that we've completed wave 3 into here, and there's wave 4 and wave 5. Now, I can make a case that wave 5 is completed here. I don't know which one it is, okay, but I do think that on a local level, on the 4-hour level, there is a chance for more upside following a correction of some kind. I think we can see some more upside coming in to this, because if this is a 5-wave advance, we would see some type of correction and then a continued move to the upside of some kind to turn it into at least a 3-wave move. So that would make it look like A to here, B wave correction of some kind. How deep, who knows? No one knows. And one more high above this for a 3-wave move. So that's just speculation at this stage. But what's not speculation is that it looks like 5 waves are in. So if a corrective move is initiated, there will probably be a setup for upside in the dollar, which suggests further downside in euro dollar and Aussie dollar. And now both these pairs have printed 5-wave down moves. Now, the fact that it looks like 5 waves to me suggests that we are going to see further downside after a correction. So I'm going to just relabel this now. And it does look like a decent low is in. I mean, this could morph to some kind of like ending diagonal still, but for now I'm going to take it as down. There's divergence. So let's see what kind of move up begins. But I think next week there will be upside here. So 1, 2, 5 for 3, 4 on a few days ago, and 5 waves down for wave 5 to complete 1 or A. So I feel we're going to get another, and there's a very similar count on Aussie US dollar. We did see a further collapse after that move up that I talked about in the last video. And this again is 5 waves down. And if it can find some type of low here on Monday, I will also be looking for a move up in this. Now this does not look, this pair is a bit uglier on the charts. It's at one of those horizontal support levels that some traditional traders may come in and look to find some support at for a move up. But I feel that it has that possibility to move up here with 5 waves down. Unless it takes on a more bearish view, there is a more bearish count in this. I'll just show it for anyone who's interested. If I have this right, I'm looking at wave 1, wave 2, 5 waves, which would be 1 of wave 3, 2 of 3, and we would see an aggressive move down now for wave 3 of 3. That is possible, but that's a very, very, very bearish view on Aussie US dollar and a very, very bullish one on the DX. So it's less likely, but it is there, it does exist. And you know, with these wave patterns, even if you know the books inside, well, if you, I would say if you really know the Elliott Wave book inside out, you would be aware that there are always multiple counts, and that is a matter of interpretation. And if there are multiple counts, there are multiple ways that the price can be realized and materialized and advanced. So if you're aware of what the different counts are, you can then adjust to them locally. And if you're going to trade off a chart, I would say you have to be hyper aware of all this stuff, because the market moves quick and it's easy to get thrown around. In any case, Euro US dollar, if there is, I was able to count 5 waves into here. It's kind of ugly, I guess, but if we see a corrective move up in Euro US dollar, there will be a chance to sell further for another move. But I would say this current downswing is probably over. I know some Elliott Wave traders, as I mentioned about the DX, they're looking at this as wave 4 here. So this would be, pardon me, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and another move up for wave 5. It is possible. But like I said, given what I'm going to view and hold as 5 waves down, I will be looking for a correction and another downward move to make a bigger 3. Okay, I'm not going to look at pounds. Pound is extremely weak now. The traders who missed it, the Elliott Wave traders who were bearish on that pattern and missed the upside, may have gotten it from the high. I know a few who did, but it's completely reversed from this. I have nothing to say about this. It's been very bearish from the high. Oil put in a decent correction and is now selling off hard. If you want to see oil charts and analysis, you should look to forex trading. One second. These guys, forex trading, they've been dealing with oil. So oil is bearish. There was I brought it up. I might as well deal. I said I wasn't going to deal with it, but now I might as well throw it up there. All right, this whole thing is 3 waves. You should see rubber balance fundamental analysis, which is way too complicated for me to grasp, but it's very impressive, and it has labeled a bearish move. He's been talking about a bearish move for a while now and expects this to fall, and it looks good for a continued bearish move. That bigger idea of a further high from here, it worked for a while, but judging that considering this is looking like 3 waves up and the move down has been hard, it's looking like it's entering a 3rd wave now. So if it can get a confirmed sell-off on Monday, this can be 5 waves into here. We can have a small correction. This can be the first of wave 3, and if we see a small correction here into Monday, there should be another chance to sell as well. So that would be the bearish scenario in this. But like I said, see them for that. New Zealand, US dollar, I'm not looking at here. Canadian dollars, I've lost interest in, except for Euro Canadian, but I'm not going to go over that now. You should actually see forex trading for that too. And Bitcoin does have a bullish case on it. I don't have much more to say about Bitcoin right now, actually. Like I said, there are 2 ways to view this in Elliott Wave. You can look at this as a 3-wave move on the daily. You can also look at it perhaps as a 1. You would have to force a really ugly 2 up, down, pardon me, down, up, and down in here. And now 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and see it advance from here. My view on Bitcoin is that because of the big hanging man on the monthly, it has a decent chance to roll over here, despite the look of this, which appears like 3 waves. Maybe it's making a triangle, actually? Because if you want to adjust this, I think 2 Elliott Wave analysts who have wave 3 here when I was talking about wave 5. It is possible given the 3-wave correction. And you could be looking at something like a triangle here, maybe, which would suggest a few more gyrations, A, B, C, D, and E, and then a big move up. It's one possibility. But like I said, I'm not going to bother with this. I don't have any type of trade set up at the moment. The fact is, this is 3 down. At the moment, this is looking like 3 up. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about it. So I will leave it there. Most interesting pairs, dollar yen, short opportunities, euro yen probably. Euro and Aussie, those are the pairs that are the most interesting at the moment. Okay, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.